Today, we'll be talking about the biggest mistake chronically stressed women make that keeps them stuck. If you're a chronically stressed woman and you feel stuck, then this podcast is for you. Be sure to listen.
Hi, I'm Jen Barnes, and you're about to experience how to ditch the old ways of doing things, build resilience, and move from being busy and overloaded to stepping into your personal power. Welcome to the Self-Empowered Woman podcast.
Hey, it's Jen. If you're a chronically stressed woman, I want you to pause for a moment and just ask yourself this question. Do you make space in your life for yourself? You might even grab a piece of paper and a pen, and you could draw a line down the middle and list out on one side all the things that you do for others, the time, energy, money, resources, all that on one side. And on the other side, list out all the things that you do for yourself, time, energy, money, resources. And it might take a while, so I'll keep talking rather than just pausing for like 5 minutes. And so when you're done with this list that you're working on, what I want you to do is set it down, or maybe even set it in front of you. Take a moment and zoom out. Look at both lists. And then I want you to see what you notice. The thing is if you're like most chronically stressed women, chances are one list is way longer. And I'm going to go ahead and suggest you probably know which list that is. It's the list of what you do for everyone else. And you might be thinking, but Jen, I care about people. Or Jen, I'm a mom. I have to put my kids first. Of course, I have to do all this stuff. Or Jen, it's my job to care for others. I'm a nurse. I'm a doctor. I'm a accountant. I'm a therapist, whatever it is. And these things may be true. And with all of the societal messages and norms that we as women and back when we were girls received about our value and needing to put everyone else first, I understand why you would prioritize your lists this way. And yet, the biggest mistake chronically stressed women make that keeps them stuck is they don't make space for themselves in their lives. And they hope things will change, but they're not really doing anything to help them change. And so the problem is when you do that, all of your energy is going outward towards other people, and very little, if any energy at all, is coming in to replenish you. It's like using your cell phone and never plugging it in. So, expecting your battery to last forever, but eventually it's going to get depleted and stop working at all, right? And so you might find that if you're doing this, you end up feeling angry, resentful, irritable, maybe depressed, probably pretty anxious if you've got all that stuff on your plate. You might even notice that you start to have physical illnesses. And if this starts happening, you're not going to be able to continue helping others the way that you want to, let alone be able to do things for yourself. And so the question is what do you do instead? What do women who've overcome chronic stress and who are living more freely do? Well, they decide that they are worth their own time, energy, money, and resources. They get clear on their priorities and values. And when they're asked to do something, instead of right away being a yes person and saying yes, trying to help the world, they actually pause and reflect on if what's being asked of them is in alignment with their values and priorities. They think about what is already on their plate and the time that they have. And then they say yes or no based on that. They also create space to do things like exercise and eat healthy and get 8 hours of sleep, rest, play, and reflect. And so, for example, you might think about Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga is someone who values her own well being. And one way that this shows up for her is she doesn't do fan pictures. Like she won't let fans take pictures of like together with her. And she does this because it drains her energy. She's actually come out and talked about how hard fame has been on her mental health because she can't just sit and enjoy dinner with people without other people coming up and making it be about her and her outfit or whatever's going on. When all she wants to do is spend time with her loved ones and enjoy them too. And so Lady Gaga has set some pretty firm boundaries around this. And they haven't really been popular necessarily. But the thing is the people who don't respect it aren't her people. And really, it's not her stuff that they don't like it, it's theirs. And so the same is true for us. Our loved ones, the people closest to us, they care for us. They want us to feel good. They want us to have energy. They want us to enjoy our lives. They want us to care for ourselves. Even if maybe if they've gotten used to us not doing those things, it may take a little bit of conversation and, they may have some feelings about it as they adjust their lives. But at the base, our loved ones really want what's best for us. And if they don't, we can make a choice to either choose them about our need to value ourselves and put ourselves first and actually take time for ourselves, or we can let them go. And so if you're a busy working mom, you might be thinking, well, yeah, Jen, that sounds great. How exactly does that work with kids? All right, so here's the thing. I get the kid thing. I get that you don't ever get to go to the bathroom alone. Not yet. And I get that, right? But the thing is you need to be healthy physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, both to care for your children the way that you want to care for them, to be the parent that you want to be, but also to model for them what it is to take care of yourself, showing them that when we care for ourselves, we actually give with a freer heart, and showing them that we matter. Because if you don't do this, you will end up feeling unwell, and that will impact the care that you can offer to your kids. That will impact their lives. And it will model for them that they're not supposed to take time to take care of themselves, that they're just supposed to give freely and never really slow down or, do any of the stuff that would make them happy. And I don't think you want that for your kids. So it might be time to consider the things that you do for your kids and really look at that list and decide, like, what of this can you start to teach them to do for themselves? What of it can you delegate to someone else? What of it can you say no to? What needs to be eliminated? Like if you're someone, your kid has like 5 activities, maybe they get to do 1 a season, right? 2 at most, so that you're not like a constant taxi cab or Uber, I guess, nowadays. And so it's really time for you to reflect on like, what's going on here and how does this align with how I want to raise my kids? Do I want them to be running around wild, never caring for themselves? And if you do, that's fine. But if you want them to have a life that's more fulfilling and grounded, then you get to reflect on those priorities and values and think about how you might pass that on to them through your own care of yourself. So here's the thing. When your kids are super young, you might have to double up on stuff, right? So a walk might mean that you're going for a walk with your kids, right? That might be the movement or exercise you get in. You might be pushing the stroller. If they're a little older, it might be a slower walk, but at least you're getting some movement in your day, right? Kids, it might take some time to get them to eat healthy foods, but if they try something 5 times, eventually they can learn to like it, and so you can experiment with some of that. It might be that your drives become your special time where you can quick have a chat with a friend, listen to your favorite music or podcast, or listen to part of an audiobook. And when you play with your kids, that can become your playtime too. If you suggest 2 activities that you enjoy playing with them, and then let them choose. And you might be thinking, oh, but my kid wants to play Barbies or action figures and I feel really guilty. Here's the thing, if you hate doing that, they're going to read your lackluster energy for those tasks. But kids are going to assume that that energy is about them and you not wanting to play with them. When really it's just that you've played Barbies your whole life as a kid and you're kind of over it as a grown up. And so instead of forcing yourself to do play activities that suck for you, pick two that you would really love, that you have fun doing. For me, it's coloring or drawing and playing games. Like I love to play games. And I actually like to sit and visit. I have one niece who loves to just sit and visit, although she's almost 10. So that, she's a little older. But if you do that, then you're going to be doing something that's playful for you, bringing that lightness into your life. And your kids will get to experience you that way and you'll have fun together. And so that might be a way you get it. The other thing, though, even if you've got young kids, I want to really encourage you to try and find at least 20 minutes a day where you take some time just for you to do something that actually replenishes you. So I'm not talking about like scrolling social media or being on your phone in some way, actually things that replenish you. For me, this would be reading, journaling. It could be listening to a podcast. It might be talking to a friend. It could just be snuggling with my kitties, right? So, whatever that is that replenishes you, I really encourage you to find at least 20 minutes a day for that. And so, after we sign off here, what I want you to do is I want you to just take a moment and identify which of these suggestions really resonated that you want to try first. I just want you to pick one and I want you to start small and simple. And the reason is if you start and it's all complex and has all these things, or it's this big deal, you're not going to keep up with it. It's going to be too overwhelming, too much new stuff in your life, and it's going to be too hard to get done. So start small. You can always add more later. And so if this was helpful, I'd love it if you'd keep listening, but also be sure to follow and share. Take care.